Okay, so change of tack. A few people have said to me that they do not like the robotic voice. They prefer me to use a sort of normal voice. I get that, guys. Obviously, I do not have freedom of speech where I currently reside, so I do have to disguise myself somehow. So I'm going back to the voice synthesizers. If you prefer this over the robotic voice, give me a thumbs up. If you prefer the robotic voice, give me a thumbs down. And at the end of the video, guys, I will tally the results and then make a decision based on that. So let's just jump straight into it and basically break this shit down. Tests being carried out on 600 English tower blocks with cladding. Woohoo! 600 more potential towers that can go up in flames. PM has urged urgent testings on buildings taking place in wake of Grenfell Tower disaster to see if cladding is flammable. Here's a hint, pull the board off and see. It's not fucking hard. Tests have been carried out on 600 high-rise council buildings in England to see whether or not they have flammable exterior cladding similar to that used on Grenfell Tower in West London. At least they're doing something, I suppose. The estimate revealed by Downing Street came as Theresa May told Parliament that urgent tests were being carried out to place around Britain to see how many tower blocks might be at risk of following the devastating fire in North Kensington. Making a statement to the Commons about the fire last week, in which at least 79 people have died. How do you only have 79 people died? I'm going to make another video about that because I think that number is complete bullshit. I think there is a lot more people dead than 79. But anyway, the Prime Minister said initial test results have shown other blocks had seemingly used flammable cladding. Speaking after May's statement, Number 10 spokeswoman said that after council records have been provided a government with the detail of cladding, a small number bullshit, of samples were tested and 3 of these were found to be combustible. Notice they did not say how many they originally had, they just said a small number. Well, yeah, okay, cool. Department of Communities and Local Government was according to the process of facilities to allow 100 samples a day to be tested, the spokeswoman said. So far, 3 samples have been found to be combustible, she said. In terms of how many buildings and how many homes have this type of cladding, the estimate was provided to us by councils at approximately 600 high-rise buildings. Okay, so basically the way I figured that all out, I've worked that out, is builders will generally build things fairly cheap. If you have cladding, for example, cladding A, that is $3 a panel, or you have cladding B, that is $5 a panel, and you have to put 1,000 panels up, you are going to go with panel A. While it's great they are testing the whole range of paneling to see which is flammable, personally, I would be testing the paneling that is the most commonly used. Because that's what 90% of the towers are going to be built out of. Yes, you will have a few towers that are spruced out for the extra money, but majority of them, especially being council housing, will have the cheap shit on them. That is what you need to be testing first, not the whole range of paneling, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you're testing the paneling over on this side because no one's frigging using it. You want to test the paneling that is more widely used. So far, later the DCLG clarified that the 600 figure referred to the high-rise buildings with any form of cladding, not necessarily the aluminium composite material ACM panels. Well, we already know the ACM panels are flammable. The tower proves that. But, it's great that you're not focusing on that or anything. A spokeswoman said the situation is that 600 buildings have cladding. It's not similar, it's all types of cladding. Of those 600, we want landlords to check to see if the ACM cladding or those 600 will be... Okay, so why are they only focusing on ACM? We know the ACM is flammable and you're going to get the landlords. Please, Mr. Landlord, let me know if your cladding that you have put up around your building is a potential fire risk, so that way we can then get you to tear it down and to replace it at no extra cost, right? Sure, I'm sure they're going to do that. Found combustible. Tests will be done to ensure the building's safe and residents could be rehoused. And then it's basically just going on, just typical bullshit. Alright. The scary thing is that this is not the first time that we've had this fire. There was also a fire over in China literally a few days before that had the exact same problem. And also about a year ago in Australia, they also had the same problem too. I've been researching this cladding a little bit in my spare time. It was actually called the Docklands Fire, I believe. I will be making another separate video on that too, about how the Grenfell Tower could have been avoided. But yeah, they've been warning signs for years now, and people did not listen. So yeah, anyway, well, that's another video. But guys, look, obviously at the moment, at the very least, you can be reassured that the government has your best interests at heart and that they are checking all these cladding. Whether or not that's going to change anything, well, that's completely up to your landlord. I'm sure he's going to be completely honest when telling the government because, hey, you know, he wants to go forking out the extra money to fix his problem, right? So guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Personally, my suggestion would be, obviously you have the fire engines and the fire brigade, that's separate, but you also have fire services officers who go through and check buildings for obviously smoke alarms and stuff like that. Maybe they might need a little bit of a budget boost, and maybe one of their jobs in their new budget boost could be going around and, I don't know, check cladding on high-rise buildings, maybe? And maybe give them the power to actually say, no, we want to test this for ourselves. Give me a sample of the cladding, or at the very least, a hammer that I can pull one off with. Or maybe even spruce out and maybe give them the hammer. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you like this voice more than the robotic voice, please give it a thumbs up. If you prefer the robotic voice, give a thumbs down. And apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, have a great night and enjoy.